Moving like a mold dog. With the shit, this that old spot.
You're only here. Steve likes this one because it's a bit like BDSM. YouTube, we are back. So today we are going to doing a pull session with Steve. Steve's actually 6'7". So anyone seeing this, he's actually 6'7" now. I'm not sure. I hate that. Every time we do a fucking video or photo together, I'm like, fucking crouch down, you twat. I look fucking tiny. But he's down here for an in-person check-in. We do that with all our clients. Like, I get them to come down, just execute some form, look at different form techniques, look at hand movements. So we're going to run through a pull session today. This is my second lot of back this week. It's a little bit of pull, like lat work, a little bit of side delts. First off, we're just going to start running through some activation movements. What I find with people is they can't engage with the lats. They struggle a lot to engage with the lats. So we start this off to just look at some retraction of the scapula, some lat movements, and straight arm pull down to get the lower lats fired up. So we move into the heavier stuff. So what we're looking at here is we're looking at driving these elbows, tucking them under, bringing this back up a little bit higher, and then bringing the elbows into this side to fully contract this lat. So what we want to think about is you want to be thinking about shortening this lat. So the reason we use this attachment is so that our hand path can stay perfectly straight. Where you see a lot of people who use the rope and they'll bring their elbows in, we want to keep our elbows right in line with that hip so we can drive that hip down, not think about pushing through with our hands. Again, here we'll do like 12, 15 reps just to get the lats firing. Perfect, bro. Another issue I find with a lot of people is their ability to retract the scapula. So when you're thinking about any rowing movements, we're going to thinking about retracting that scapula. So this is just a nice way to get that fired up and to just get the motor neurons in the mind, just thinking of retract, retract. So then when we come to a T-bar row or a movement like a rowing movement, we're always on it straight away. Next movement that we're going to start off with is an underhand supinated grip pull down. We do these single arm just so we can get a full contraction into the lower lat. The goal here is to be bringing that elbow as close as we can to our side and driving it into our hip so that lower lat gets attachment. What you'll see as well is how we warm up. The thing is, everybody wastes a lot of energy trying to warm up. So they'll do 10 repetitions, 10 repetitions, 10 repetitions. By the working set, they're absolutely fucked. So the real of it is what we want to try and do is prime our nervous system. So we want to do 6 repetitions, heavier, 4 repetitions, heavier, 2 repetitions. You'll see as we go through this. But all we're trying to do is, we're not trying to put a load of blood into muscle because we've just done that with the activation stuff. We're just trying to prime our nervous system, getting ready to lift heavy. So one of the mistakes that people use as well is not using this pad to their advantage, because you want to be pushing your weight through that pad as a counter force. So one of the tips is push your weight through the counter force and then drag your arm. Exactly like I said on the straight arm pull downs, we want to think about dragging our elbow, not our hand. She'll do out to be in video, won't she?
Flickering the hair on the way in.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Emily. Hi, yeah. Hi.
I'm Emily, by the way.
Yeah, he's my boyfriend, by the way. Everyone watching. He's got a girlfriend. So this is where log booking comes in. We get all our clients to log their lifts because we're looking at progressive overload over time. So we're looking at trying to either take a little bit more load and mechanical tension, or we're looking at taking a steal and a rep every single time. So like today, last week I got 99.25 to be precise for 7. So when I'm at that bottom end of that rep range from 6 to 9, I'll keep that weight the same, and then I'll just try and steal a rep to 8. If there's a 9th rep there, I'll go for the 9th rep, but it's gonna have to be a perfect form. So that's when, once you've hit that top end of that rep range, then I'd increase the load. That's where people go wrong. They'll be at 7 reps, and then they'll try and increase the load and match the reps. You need to be working towards the top end of that rep range before you actually increase the load. So again, this is pretty much 10% off my working load. So what I'll do is I'll just do 1 repetition here. That again is just to prime my body ready to lift heavy weight. So then when I go into the heavy weight, it doesn't feel as heavy. It's not a shock to the body. Perfect. Yep. Nice, perfect, yeah, good. Just another rep. When you are doing progressive overload, these will become your best friends because it's only 1.25, but it's a progression. So adding that on, if I try to jump now from 98 to 108, that's a huge jump. So I want to just add a tiny little bit of load so that I can make, obviously we're taking a progression in load, but also taking a progression in reps.
Blast out, moving like a mold dog. Killer beef, throw it back, this that so what? Southwest with the shits, this that old spot. Sound boy in the ground, fuck his own spot. Dirty nasty lingo that be attracting. It's crazy when we roll, yeah.
So as you sit there, like, how you know you're reaching failure is when the rep starts to slow down. So the first few reps are pretty quick, and then as it starts to grind and slow down, I could have gone for a 9th rep then and Steve assist me, but that wouldn't be a true rep. So I don't take any 50-50 reps. When it's failure, last week we got 7, this week we got 8. So as you can see, as it comes in, it starts to slow down. I knew that there wasn't going to be another rep, so I just reserved that. One of the cues that I give to Steve is, instead of just letting your arm go straight, you want to keep the lat tension on the lat. So what you do is you press your shoulder down and then bring it up into an arch. So the shoulder should always stay down instead of this coming up, arm going up. That's taking it off the lat. So bringing the shoulder down, coming up, back up in an arch, keeps the tension on the lat. It fucking kills, but works. Just to touch on, like, a lot of questions I get asked from people is, how do I know about back offsets and how much to drop? Normally the drop off's around 30% from your top set and your back offset. The other question is, which set do I do first? You do your heaviest set first because it's going to be the most, you've got the most energy for that set, and then your back offset is going to be a lighter load, about 30% reduction, and then obviously we'll go in for a little bit higher rep ranges. Again, you can grow in every single rep range as long as you're making progressions. I like to keep 6 to 9, 12 to 14 rep range. Once you start entering into the 20 rep ranges, it's a little bit more harder to keep form because you're so fatigued. So with things like biceps, triceps, things like that, can be a little bit higher reps because of the tendons. But with the heavier compound movements like this, I just keep between them 2 reps.
Setting up shop, trying to move off the block. If you need to pick up a pack, you know you gotta come to the spot.
If he ever says one more, I think, fuck you. Who are you to tell me I can do one more, I'll do 2. That's start working my head. That's why he does it. He knows where my G-spot is. Every time.
If I can't, I know a guy.
Yeah, so what we're thinking, as you can see, every time we're trying to work our lats, we're thinking about arm path and elbow path. So every time you want to be using either a vertical row or a horizontal row, and you want to be working your lats, you want to be thinking your elbow coming as close as you can to your side. So you don't want your elbow flaring out, you want to be driving right into your side and shortening that lat. Same with the upright, bringing this elbow right into our side. So what we're thinking about here is, rather than just rowing with our arms, we're thinking about wrapping our elbow around our rib cage, because our lat inserts from our spine all the way to our top of our shoulder. So we want to be shortening that muscle fully. So rather than thinking of just rowing straight, which is a lot of bicep, a lot of forearm, we want to think about wrapping our elbow around our back and around our rib cage.
Trying to move off the block, trying to move off the butt. If you need to pick up a pack, you know you gotta come to the spot. Wrap it up, you can tell all the love running off.
So what you'll see is we'll do arm for arm, and the reason being is just rest time. So a lot of people, they'll cut themselves short. We'll normally have around 2 to 3 minute rest in between each set. That just allows us then to everything replenish and for us to really attack the set. So a lot of people, what they do is they misinterpret a hard set because they're out of breath. And the thing is if you go back straight in after a minute, after a minute, after a minute, you're not going to be replenished. Your glycogen stores are not going to be replenished. The ATP stores are not going to be replenished, and you're not going to be able to perform at the best of your ability. So standardise that rest period, 2 to 3 minutes every time, and then you can obviously perform the best and get that progressive overload. So what you've seen us do there is 2 very lat focused movements. So what we're going to now move on to is an upper back movement. So what you want to think about again is where your hand placement. As we were saying, with our hands in a neutral grip into our lats, now we're going to go overhand, which is going to work the upper back. We use this prime machine because we can load it at different points so we can control the strength curve. The reason being is as you get further into your sets, you're obviously stronger in different elements of the movement. So at the bottom part of the motion, we're going to be stronger. The top, when it's fully shortened, we're going to be weaker. So what it allows us to do is, allows us to distribute the load over the 2 pegs and make it heavier in different points. So what we'll do is we'll put, say, 40 kilo on here and then 20 kilo on the top peg. That's going to make it pretty even throughout. And then as we get tired, we'll put 2 plates on the top and 1 plate in the middle and distribute that load, so it's heavier at the bottom but easier as we get to the top. So what you'll see here as well is, first exercise we do, we'll do a lot more warm-ups. With this, we're just touching, so it's literally 1 or 2 feeder sets and then the working sets. So the other thing that you want to do as well to make the starting position a lot easier and you're not overstretching is to use these or some yoga blocks and place them under like that. Steve traps his fingers.
Yeah, out.
And what that's going to do is, as you then lift off, you've got a starting position that's neutral rather than overstretching, especially when you get quite strong on these machines. You don't want to be overstretching to get the actual handles, and then as you pull, they'll just drop out. Watch them stay stuck now.
With the shits, this that old spot. Blacks out, moving like a mold dog.
As I said before, what you'll see now is we're still using the same load, but it's just different in distribution. So this is going to be heavier at the bottom, where we're the most powerful, and a little bit lighter as we get to the top motion. So we can still use the same load, but just obviously we're going to be stronger in different parts of the reps. It allows us to then still progress, but not keep loading it in the middle, and then obviously the shorter range will be over fatigued.
It's crazy when we roll, yeah, we make a roll. If you know, then you know. If you don't, you don't.
He's got one fucking job, because he's the tall cunt, to put this on, and he fucks off. It's your job. You're only here for fucking what?
The session as well, it's like an indicator of, are you training hard enough? There's times where I start training with Ryan and I think, yeah, I don't think I'm training hard enough.
Yeah.
I look back at home. Let's go.
2, 3. Yeah, that's one thing that we get with guys. A lot of people, when you are doing a low volume workout, so I might just say 2 sets, they say, oh, it's not enough. And I think, trust me, I can put you through 3 or 4 sets of movements and you've feel like you've trained harder than you've ever trained before. So that's the thing you've got to think about, is the intensity and effort you put into them sets is what's really going to matter, not the amount of sets that you do. As you get better at training and your ability, the skill level goes up, because training is a skill. It's something you practice, like I've been doing for 10 years. You become better at it, you become better at recruiting muscle. You can then work in lower volumes. So when someone's starting out with me, they're going to need a little bit more higher volume stuff in more sets to get that intensity. Whereas I can pretty much do 1 set and go all in. Mentally and physically, I can take it all the way there. When you're starting out, I feel, looking at clients and people I've trained before, they need maybe 3 sets to generate that intensity.
Pick up a pack, you know you gotta come to the spot. Wrap it up, wrap it up. You can tell all the love's running off. I feel like tears had a lost in the mirror. You see by her face that she's had enough. Wrap it up, wrap it up.
The reason we do this with that attachment and the D handles is what you find with dumbbells, very awkward, because they're here and they're very clunky. So what it doesn't allow you to do is it doesn't allow you to retract back. So what we're thinking about is, instead of just up for our traps, we want mid-trap. So we're handling here and the tension is going backwards rather than just up. So this is perfect for that.
Eyes full of tears, had her lost in the mirror. You see by her face that she's had enough. All of us out here setting up shop, trying to move off the block. If you need to pick up a pack, you know you gotta come to the spot. Trying to move off the block, trying to move off the block. If you need to pick up a pack, you know you gotta come to the spot. Wrap it up, wrap it up. You can tell all the love's running off. Eyes full of tears, had her lost in the mirror. You see by her face that she's had enough. Wrap it up, wrap it up. You can tell all the love's running off. Eyes full of tears, had her lost in the mirror. You see by her face that she's had enough.
So there we've done underhand pull down. We've done a single arm row, so that's all lat focused. We've done an upper back row, which is obviously the overhand prime row. We've done a D handle pull down looking at the terries, so just bringing them elbows a bit closer. So it's similar to like a lat upper back movement. Then we've done D handle shrugs, so obviously bringing the traps in, and then a rear delt fly. Obviously I'm trying to bring up my side laterals, so I've added more frequency in. So on my push days I'll do side laterals, and then on my pull days I'll do side laterals at the end. So we're hitting that twice a week, getting that frequency a little bit higher.
In my pocket, cause they wanna test my luck. Finger on the trigger, I ain't never giving up.
Pressure, put the pressure, put the pressure, pressure, put the pressure, put the pressure, put the pressure.
Steve likes this one because it's a bit like BDSM. Yeah,
I like being strapped in.
yeah. Gotta watch out for you, you fucking
What's up?
long arms, waxing dick. Boom, might enjoy it. Go on,
A bit closer.
just using it for form. Judge your distance. So you touch my belly,
Fingers are gonna come out.
then you know you're fully short. Come on. So that is our pull session. So as you've seen, we spoke about some lat movements, a little bit of upper back, added on some rear delts and some side laterals. Now we're going to do, when he's recovered, do an in-person check-in with Steve, just to see how he's looking. He's currently 21 weeks out.
21 weeks tomorrow.
Yeah, 21 weeks out. So it just gives me a good gauge of obviously body fat levels. Always like to see my clients in person if I can, because it just gives me a good true representation, and I can tweak his posing, make his physique come to life a little bit more, and he can go away and then practice that. So once he's stopped dying,
Yeah.
we'll do a posing. Front relaxed. Nice. Chest up a little bit higher. Yeah, perfect. Quarter turn. Feet away. So remember to turn them feet away so you can turn your body back in. Squeeze. Squeeze that glute for me. That's it. Again, just drop this shoulder. Perfect. What I want you to do, Steve, is tuck your hips under, right first. Squeeze your glutes under, and then push your hips back. There you go, miles better. And then grip the floor with your toes. That means your hamstrings. Chest up high. A bit more. There we go. See the shoulder. So you want the shoulder to be in line. So this, not here, all in line. Back to front. Front double. Take them hands wider. Try tucking, lift up. That's it. Make yourself, you're wide here, so make yourself as wide as possible. Perfect. Side check. Nice, bro. Again, push it right down. Nice. Nice. Perfect. Back double. Put that foot flat. Yeah? So keep this foot flat for me. And then what I want you to do is grip the floor with your toe. There you go, miles better. So because if you're up on your toe, you can't tense your hamstring.
Yeah. Wow, yeah.
Nice. Perfect, bro. I'm happy with that. Body fat levels good.
21 weeks.
Yeah. Body fat levels are nice. The areas that we wanted to bring up has helped massively. And then also that work that you've had, you know, to be able to under them elbows is like you can see here now, like side delts, chest, everything's pretty much balanced. Back to top to bottom, hamstrings, glutes, everything. It's just getting in condition. But the thing as well, as we diet down and your waist comes in even more, then you're going to be in even better shape. Pose on. Oh, sorry. Oh, I didn't know. No bottoms on. Shove your clothes back on. We'll get both. I didn't know, sorry. Yeah, of course, no problem. Yeah, so basically we're not allowed to take our clothes off, which unfortunately we're very good at. But yeah, so as I was saying then before, what we've done with Steve's programming is we've looked at his physique and we said, right, where do we need to make it so we're flawless? We've not created just a push-pull legs. We've distributed the volume into his back area, into his chest area, to bring them body parts up and took some of the volume off his legs. His quads respond very well, so we might only have 6 sets for his quads, and then we'll have the rest of the sets from that, another 6 sets, onto his back work. So this is where people go wrong and they make the mistake, is they don't distribute volume. They just go, I'm going to train chest, and then they'll do 9 sets, train shoulders 9 sets, or 10 sets, whatever it is. And they always end up with never having a complete physique. Doesn't matter if you don't want to step on stage, you want to be a disco bodybuilder and look good in a nightclub, but if you want to step on stage, you're going to be judged on your weaknesses. So we need to make sure that we turn up on stage and we have no weaknesses. But he's doing phenomenal. We're going to, 20 weeks, we'll start prepping another 5. So we'll get Christmas out of the way. And then January comes, we'll start heading into a prep now. And then just bringing him down, make sure he's absolutely nails by May time. Steve, May?
Yeah, May 2nd.
2nd of May.
PCA Northwest.
And then we'll go for the qualifier, get to British, and that's all she wrote. Thank you for watching the YouTube video, guys. Again, I know I said I was going to be really consistent with this. I am now, I pinky promise. Honestly, I'm going to write that down. Comment, like, subscribe, all that jazz. It helps massively. Anything that you want to see, just reach out. Coaching inquiries, reach out to me on DMs, on Instagram. See you in the next one.
This that so what? Southwest with the shits, this that old sport.